Arran, it's lovely to be with you today. And what we're doing is we're doing a short video just to let people know about a new innovation, a men's group that you'll be running. So it would be lovely to hear a little bit from you. We're looking at the end of November. And what is a men's group?
A men's group's a group of guys that meet in a kind of facilitated environment. I mean, it sounds a bit clinical saying it like that, but they've got a facilitator, someone that kind of leads it a little bit, or creates a level of safety for the group. Um, Sometimes they're themed when the men meet up, and often the men in the groups that I've been part of have an input into that. I'd like to raise this topic this time, or talk about this thing that's come up in the press, for example. And yeah, there's it's a kind of spacious check-in time, really. So often guys will kind of stick to the theme, and that will kind of trigger some thoughts and feelings and experiences they might want to share when it comes to their turn to talk. Um, or they might go off and just talk about something that's important to them in their lives. When I say turn in the groups, I mean it's usually quite kind of a kind of convivial, kind of unstructured process around that. I mean, generally speaking, everyone checks in at some point in the group, so it's good to hear from everyone that's in the group. But it's there are often kind of interactions and responses to what people say that come up that are often where a lot of the kind of magic happens. And yeah, you generally get a sense of a kind of, yeah, bit of a community.
And in the groups that you've run in the past with men, what's the thing that keeps them coming back loosely?
Well, I'd say just that, what I've talked about. I mean, it, there's a minimum number that we put on these groups. So that the one that we've talked about running is going to be a minimum of six, a kind of maximum of 10. The maximum is about the time constraint. We'll keep it to roughly about 3 hours every 2 weeks. So there's a limit amount of time that people have to check in, so it doesn't get too busy in terms of numbers. But the minimum number is an important thing as well, because you tend to come to these kind of groups, and when you've got a good amount of numbers, the energy tends to be quite buoyant, and I think that's the thing that draws men in. They can come along, and they get a chance to listen to other men's stories, and sometimes there are things that are voiced that perhaps they can't give voice to, and they hear someone else say it, and they think, oh, that's kind of true for me as well. So it kind of helps with the kind of processing of sorts. Um, and yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, just by the nature of men's group, it excludes women and children generally. So uh, the upside of that is that it gives men an opportunity to be around other human beings that might have similar experiences based on their gender, that the other people in the group can relate to, and they find a source of support in some way or understanding. Um, I think that.
Sounds really interesting, and of course this is still in its chrysalis state. So um, we'll be thinking more into it. So watch this space and let Kadal know if you're interested. Um, but we'll also possibly by the time this video goes live, we'll have set dates. We're looking at around the end of November and probably to run for 6 months fortnightly. Thank you very much, Arran.
Thanks, Kim.